Welcome back to the Armed Scotsman. Today on the table we have a PSA Jackal chambered in 9mm. Let's get this one going. Alright everybody, as I said, this is PSA's Jackal chambered in 9mm. I have reviewed the full-size Jackals before, a chambered in 5.56, and they were great. But we do have the baby 9mm right here. Kind of a really aesthetically nice looking gun. But anyway, let's get dived into this. We're going to go over the features of the gun. Pros, cons, whatever. We'll take it shooting, we'll talk about that and so on. Alright, so let's start at the back with the brace. You have a Midwest Industries brace on the back here, and it's stamped MI on the piece right here on top, and when you open this up, it's also stamped on the inside. So from here, you've got QD sling attachments on either side, there and here, and one on the bottom right here. And then you have another QD attachment right here. So lots of options to attach your QD sling mounts. Other than that, there's not a whole bunch. You might be able to get like the original sling on here as well if you needed, maybe an original sling and then do a QD point somewhere else. But other than that, there's not a lot to talk about. It's metal. It's solid. It's not the most comfortable brace in the world, but you know, that's just fine. As you can see, there's not a whole lot to this. Very minimalistic, but again, that's a-okay with me. Coming down, this is a folder, so you would just push down on the bottom right here, which we'll do that. We'll fold it over. This one's still pretty new, so it's still a little stiff, and it's stamped MI USA right here. Once this closes over, it does kind of lock in place pretty well. Like it's not like a lock, but you can't. There is definitely tension on there, so it's not just going to come loose. All right, you're going to actually have to pull that out. So I do like that a lot too. And I just noticed here for the first time, it says on the back here, not a stock, engraved into the brace. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so yeah, that locks in place. When it's done like this, it's 16.5 inches from here to here. When this is folded out, it's 25 inches. I don't have the weight on the gun, unfortunately, at this point in time. If I remember, I will roll it into the bottom. Okay, from there, you get this little screw here because it attaches to a 1913 pick rail at the back. So you can take this off if you want to change it to a different brace, or if you SBR this or something like that. You know, it's very easy to change out if you decide to go that way. Moving along, you have a monolithic upper. The optic is an EOTech EXP S3-0. Somebody will ask. Love the EOTech. I have a lot of different optics, and something I'll just kind of bounce them around when I'm doing reviews. So I currently have the EOTech on here because I feel like with this is up close and kind of QCB gun, like it's not going to be like a long distance, and this is what this optic thrives at, is fast and close. So you've got a 1913 rail pick all the way along the top here. There's no break, right? The monolithic means it's all one piece, except from this part comes off of the bottom, but the actual upper piece here is all one piece. There's no break here like an AR-15, because usually you'll have the upper receiver and then you'll have the handguard that's attached. Now, that's obviously not the case with this way. That's all one piece. Now, it's nice because if you're attaching any kind of aiming device at the front, it's not going to rotate on you. Monolithic's a little bit more expensive to make as well over a standard handguard, so there is a little bit more money invested in creating these. All right, moving down, you got your ejection port. You've got your lower here. You got this little Jackal symbol. And then coming down, you have a Magpul grip. I love Magpul, make excellent grips. This one's really nice. It's just polymer. There's no like rubber overmold, which is my favorite. The K2 Plus is my favorite, but these are still very, very solid, nice grips. Little storage compartment in the bottom to stick in their batteries or whatever you may need, especially if you're running an EOTech, you're going to want some spare batteries in there. Now, the thing with the grips and a couple other parts on this PCC is you can change them out with standard AR-15 parts. So you can change out the grip, the safety, and the trigger to any standard AR-15 parts, and they will be compatible. I know everyone doesn't love ambi safeties. I really like ambi safeties, so that was something I would personally change. I would like an ambi safety on there, but again, that's not everybody's cup of tea, so that's, you know, is what it is. But you can change it out, and then you have PSA's enhanced polish trigger in here, and we'll go over that in a little bit more detail in just a second. Okay, you'll notice that even though some of these controls are very similar, obviously you've got your safeties in the same place, it's a standard trigger and things like that, you'll notice there is no mag release right here. It's because the mag release is down here on the trigger guard, and it's ambidextrous, it's on either side. And you would so for changing it, you could either use your index finger, to eject that, or if you want, come up and use your thumb on this side to eject the mag. It's very intuitive and it works great. I had no problems with it. Again, if you like paddle style release mags like that, then great. If you don't, well, you're out of luck. But overall, I found it to be no problems. Let's go ahead and talk about the trigger a little more. Let's take that out. Let's check out the trigger. So as I said, this is an EPT trigger, enhanced polish triggers. It's a single stage. It's nothing to write home about, but if you want to change it, it works just fine. But if you want to change it out, you can, as I said. A little bit of take up, just a tiny bit. Very positive tactile brake, and then the reset. You heard that thunk, it's forceful, it's tactile, and it's audible. What else do you need, right? Trigger pull weight, again, it's a standard mil-spec trigger, just polished up a little bit. It's going to come in at around 5-6 pound pull weight. Come to the magazines. So these will look familiar. This is obviously a PSA magazine that they have made in-house, but you can use Scorpion mags also. If you have a bunch of Scorpion mags, they should be able to work in here just fine. They should be completely compatible. Although I believe CZ Scorpion will not guarantee that, obviously, because this is not their product. But PSA does make them. I think Magpul as well now. So you can get magazines are cheap and plentiful. And then you have a flared out magwell, actually a little more flared than a standard Air 15 in there. It's pretty nice. So that is there. One last thing on the lower receiver. This is your bolt catch, bolt release right here. So if we pull this back, so you do have a last round bolt holder, but no, so that just reminded me. Obviously pull that charging handle back and it automatically locks because there's no round in there. So that is good to have. So that's the lower. Moving up to the handguard, you'll notice obviously we have a bunch of M-LOK slots around here. I mean, obviously you don't have a ton of rail up here because we only have a 6.5 inch barrel under here, but you do have enough to put on maybe a light laser, whatever you kind of need. Like for me, I would probably put a light on this side because obviously you have the charging handle on my grip hand right here. And then you've got your charging handle right here. And you'll see that it's round, it's pretty big, and it's got a little Jackal logo on there. Now, this is actually a ambidextrous charging handle, so you can switch it to the other side if you want to run it like an AK style. I don't do that, I don't like that. I like it on this side, but it's very simple to switch to the other side if you want to do that. The other thing is, obviously, it is a non-reciprocating charging handle, meaning that this will not come back when it fires like the old Scars, and hurt your thumb. So you can C-clamp it just up here just fine. It's not going to move on you when you're shooting. Barrel, as I said, is a 6.5 inch. It's a 1 in 10 twist barrel. It's nitride finished and a 1/2 by 20 thread pitch with an A2 bird cage up front. Now, this is a direct blowback system. So there's no roller delayed or anything like that. So if you compare it to like a roller delayed system, it's going to feel a little snappier than that, but it's 9mm, so it's not crazy by any means, but it's not going to be as smooth as some of the other guns out there on the market. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to take this down. We'll show you the inside of the gun. So to take it down though, this is essentially the exact same as an Air 15 with these takedown pins. You're just going to pop them out. They are captured, so you can't lose them. And then you just take off the top. This is your Air 15 trigger. This is your feed ramp right here. Sorry, I'm going to get a little closer up there for you. You can see that. There's your trigger, and obviously no buffer system. That's why that is in there. So that's your lower. This is your bolt carrier, and your bolt is all in one piece. Got a little heft to this sucker. And then you can see here, let's apologize if I can get this light right for you. Your bolt is actually right in here with your firing pin. Is right here in the back. Your firing pin right there. And this is your guide rod and spring essentially right there. Now with the upper, if you get to this point and you want to change out your charging handle to the other side, either maybe you're a lefty or you just want to run like an AK you got to have everything out. And there's what they call a sled in here, which this is actually goes through. And then you would simply get it back here, pull the charging handle out. If I even just turn it over, it might fall out. And then you would just slip it back in via this side to the other side. It can be a little tricky, but it's very, very easy. Very simple to do. It might just take you a couple of seconds, and then you would push it forward again. All right, let's talk about shooting the gun. I am through my usual about 300 rounds. I just shot 115 and 124 grain, no hollow points or anything like that. Everything, it ran with the 115 grain and 124, no problems whatsoever. Really fun to shoot. I personally really like PCCs. I know some people are maybe not super keen on them for whatever reason. I think they're great. I think they're great for self-defense, truck guns, just going out and having fun. I think they're awesome. So I personally really like PCCs, and I do like this one. Fit and finish is excellent. A lot of really cool features. If you want something more unique with the side charging handle, is pretty cool. Really nice minimalistic brace from Midwest Industries. It's not the most comfortable brace I've ever used, but it's not terrible. And again, I think it looks really good. Well, one thing to note, I did notice this actually loosened up a little bit. Now it's attached to the folder right here by 2 screws. So I just had to open this up just like normally if you're folding it. And there's 2 screws that go into two Allen key screws. You just need Allen keys to tighten them. I just tightened them up and it's solid. It's not moving at all. So it did loosen. I wasn't sure if that actually came that way or if it was after I was shooting, but either way, just give them a quick tighten and I'm good to go. But other than that, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's solid. I think it's nice. I think it's a solid PCC. So, all right, folks, that is it from me. If you have any questions, any comments, please ask below. As always, I'm happy to help out wherever I can. And that's it. Until next time, we'll catch you later.